Gwendolyn Morton with WBON TV, and on this anniversary of D-Day, I got the opportunity to speak with a very special Madison County family.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Got my basic training. First with England. Then when they made the invasion of France, I was D-Day invasion with France. So, but I didn't have to go on very long. I stayed pretty close to a bit on the our company was more supply outfit. It was combat outfit.
The first story that I always heard was that when the four boys, the older boys, had to go to World War II, the younger ones had to quit school. So Daddy dropped out of school so he could work the farm. There was 9 children total, 2 girls and 7 boys. And he left when I was 3 weeks old for Korea and was gone for 22 months. And they told him about 6 months before he got to actually come home that he was going home, and he thought he was going to Kentucky, but the little devil ended up in Hawaii. He was stationed on Schofield Barracks for about 6 months before he came home, and I got to go back a few years ago and go some of the same steps that he did when he was serving in the service. And when he came back, there were still more brothers that went. One was in basic training when he left. So it was quite exciting, you know, for all of them, and we're very proud of the military family that they are. They had a picture made of all of the brothers in their uniforms on August 2nd of 1953, and I wasn't due for about 3 or 4 more weeks, and the next day I was born. So I can always remember the date of that picture. And he had to drop out and didn't get his high school education, and he went back at 77 and got his GED. And he was honored by the Madison County School Board for his diploma and for his service in the military. And I've always been very proud of Daddy's service and all of them's service, and love to hear the stories that they tell.
Well, there's a lot of excitement going on, but you know, everything went good, and we just pushed right on, just kept going. So, but after we made the invasion, got settled, I stayed on the beach. I didn't go on.
I was 21 in June.
And how long were you gone?
Yeah.
How long were you gone?
22 months. 22 months?
Yeah. Seemed like 22 years. Went right up on the front lines. We guarded the DMZ.
Were you in the same place the whole time?
Yeah. The first snow that fell stayed on all winter. It never would melt, you know. And then they had a trench line built all the way across the DMZ. North Koreans was over here and we was over here. We guarded the DMZ. In the summertime, and it's just as hot and dry as it was cold, you know. And the people over there were just starving to death, kids and all, you know.
Wasn't all 7 of us in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All 7 of us boys.
Yeah.
7 of us boys all was in service. All 7.
All came back.
All came back. All came back.
Yeah. They'd take our clothes and wash them. They didn't have no. They'd take and put it up on a rock and then beat it with a stick or do anything. You know, it is pitiful. You know, and we had 2 or 3 that could speak English. You know, that kept us clued in on it. We had an interpreter with us all the time, but you know, and when we was guarding the DMZ, then the little kids would crawl across and try to get food. And I mean, they'd be small as that little one right there. It's pitiful, you know, and I don't know whether it's any better now than it was then, you know. Our sleeping bags, I kept mine. I was so small I could get by. You take it like him, as tall as he was. It was hard for him for sleep, but me, I could curl up in it like a fox, you know, and I kept mine full of cigarette lighters, you know, the wide long ones, and I'd open up 3 or 4 of them and set them on the thing and let them burn a little while and get it warm, you know. But it wasn't no easy way to find a way, but and it's nothing over. It wasn't nothing over, but just rice paddies and mountains. That's all it was.
After we made the invasion, well, then I stayed there. We stayed there on the beach, I guess, for 4 or 5 months. Then we moved on up to Sherburne Price. To a port up there, and because that's the only place they brought in supplies, for all the troops was there on the beach, up on the beaches.
Well, I can imagine what my grandmother must have felt like to have 4 sons in war, and knowing that 2 of them were going to really be in danger. And I can't imagine, of course I always knew she was a strong person, but I can't imagine what she must have felt. And yes, it did put a burden on the family as far as the farm work, because they were down to just a few to work it then. One funny story he always told me, and I was hoping he would tell it, or 2 of them actually. He was working the radio in the tent one day, and they were kind of up against a mountain. And like he said, there was nothing but hillsides there anyway, just about. And there was a goat that fell off the mountainside and fell in the middle of the tent, and they all started reaching for their guns and everything. And he said it was really funny because then they realized it was a goat. And then the other story he told was about, they called the or South Koreans, they called them rock soldiers. And he was in the chow line one day in the cafeteria tent. And there was a rock soldier that came in, and Daddy thought he was North Korean, and he hit him with his tray. And the kids nowadays don't realize what importance to put on these guys, what they did for us.
I'm Crendolyn Morton. For more stories like these, check us out at WBONTV.com.